Well, hello everybody. Welcome back once again to JJ's PC Builds. You know it is JJ with you once again. Today, we're going to go back in time a little bit, and we're going to look at the first Descendant. Okay, we did benchmarks on it, yes, but I've made a little bit of changes to the BIOS, into the PBO curve. I turned around, I upped the frequency by 200 megahertz. The FMax, I put it up by 200. And I turned around and put the PPT at 90 watts. So this means the PPT is now limited, but the FMax is up to 200. So let's go ahead and go to the action screen, and y'all can see what I got cooking. Alrighty. As you can see, I got the first Descendant already loaded, and look at the frequency right here. It's hitting 4,800 megahertz. That's 4.8 gigahertz now. The temperature, this has been running for a couple minutes now. Okay. It's been running for a couple minutes. I want to see where it balances out. I'm checking the AIO cooler. It's pretty warm, the AIO cooler, but I want to see where it levels out at with this game. And as you can see, the wattage right here, where I got my little arrow here. I do got somewhat of an arrow. I know it's not the big arrow cursor that you guys were looking for, but it's something. So looking at it, it's hitting at a little over 90 watts, just a little bit over. Yes, it's using about 40% to 50% of the CPU, which I don't mind. And bringing it up to the frequency, the most I've seen it hit was 4.850 gigahertz. So as you can see, I'm just letting it idle where it's at. And yes, you can see that the GPU itself is at 99%, which it's always been at 99%. 63C, which that has never changed. Well, it does once in a while, but... And it's just running at its normal level. And we're not using too much of the wattage. We're still around 1 volt. And that's pretty good. So, but looking at the voltage on this, I'm only hitting on the core voltage 1.138 volts, because I got a HW info opened up at the top, so I can switch you guys to show you. Let me switch it and show you what I got cooking. See, I'm right here. I got HW info already going, and I'm watching it as I go along. So just to give you guys an up look of what I'm doing. So I'm watching it, and I'm letting you know what I see, because I can't fit it on to where the game is. I could, but then, you know, it makes it smaller, and then you guys can't see much. So we got pretty much the voltages and stuff that you need right here. So let's go ahead and just choose. Let's just choose this one here and get it going.
Defense is my forte.
So hold this and let's get it rolling. So I'm taking you guys along with me on this because I've noticed there's a slight change. Since I turned the music off, I can leave it on now.
Wait for me! There's no iron heart on that side either.
Only this side remains then.
Let's get this over with. The architect ruins. It took so many soldiers to find this place. Please let the iron heart be in here somewhere.
I hope it is too, Bunny. I'd like to give Albion some good news.
Finding the Ironheart is important, but so is retrieving it. The Vulgus also have their sights set on these ruins.
Don't worry about that, Alpha. Compared to me, the Vulgus are as slow as turtles.
My force field will stop them. Every time.
Good to know you have my back. So, do you know what the heart looks like?
We'll know when we see it.
Come on, hurry up.
Alrighty. As you guys can see, let me go ahead and mute that so you guys don't hear that background sound. As you can see, now we're coming back to the game. Okay. Yes, I had to hit the Windows select key so that way I can see what's going on. But I'm just going to say this. It says the Ryzen 5700X core clock. Now, being at 72C, I don't mind that because the voltage is down and I'm not hitting. The VID, I'm going to tell you what the VID is. It's at 1.3. 1.3, it's not even going up to 1.34 volts on the VID. Okay, so it's staying nice and cool. And that's what I'm checking right now to see if my settings are correct. And it seems that my settings are correct. So if I hit the ESC button, I know I got to hit the F10 to get that out of the way. Let's see, let's go to the options. Now that I've gotten that done, this gives me new options. Unlimited, let's see, NVIDIA Reflex is off, VSync is off, additional options is off, ray tracing's off. Okay, let's see, let's hit the additional options. Let's go to NVIDIA. Yes, this is going to be a 1080p video. So, DLSS at ultra performance, we will leave frame gen off. We'll leave frame gen off and we'll just test it at DLSS ultra performance. And we won't make this a long video. So we'll hit the ESC key again. Let's go ahead and hit the F10 key. Let's hit. So we got 156 FPS. Let's just roll around a little bit to get the FPS moving. So, this right here is an all day long kind of thing. And I'm still thinking that I might end up changing the AIO cooler to this CPU to 360 mil AIO. So, and that might bring it down a couple of degrees. Or what I can do is I can change the fans. Since these are not the actual fans for the AIO cooler, these are actually the case fans that I had, but they've always ran really well. Plus, they're ultra quiet. I can't beat that. So let's just mess with the FPS a little bit. Hit the ESC key. Let's turn the stats off. Let's go to the options. And let's go and hit this with some frame gen. Hit the ESC key. Hit the F10. Page up. And there we go. So we had DLSS with frame gen. That's not too bad. I'm looking at, and guys, I'm looking at the GPU clock at 2910 megahertz for the GPU, 54C right now, and it's at 98%. That's not bad. I mean, and it's only using 68 to 70% power. And I know this ain't no actual running test kind of thing, but I mean, it's solid. This is solid as crazy. Okay, so as you can see, look how solid it is. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking down, guys. I don't know. I mean, looks pretty good. Nice. So, this is what we're going to look at. I know it seems like it was kind of mystical and boring. Let me turn this back on. No, you guys didn't get any of that firing action. I'll give you a little of that firing action that you missed. I figured out what I can do to make, balance out the volume and stuff like that. But I know you guys are thinking, oh, he's rambling on again. Yeah, of course. But as I can see, I'm going to pause it right here. I am going to pause it right here. And leave the game. Hit confirm. And as you can see, the FPS is not too bad. Now, the 1% lows, I'm going to let it stabilize itself. The 1% lows are not too bad. The 0.1% lows are not too bad. The average is not too bad. And the real-time FPS is not too bad. Now, you guys are probably going to go up in arms to figure out how I was able to get 90 watts on a CPU, less than 50% at less than 75C, and hitting 4.850 gigahertz. And keeping the clocks up and everything up on the GPU at the same time. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm going to exit out of here. We're going to switch things around. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. I'm just taking you all along with me as I switch everything out. Turn that off. Turn that off. Exit from Steam. And there we go. So, okay, I want you guys to understand this. This is going to be my conclusion. I didn't do much testing, yes. This was just to take you guys along to to show you what I'm doing right now to improve upon the system I have right now. Okay. Temperature wise, it's not too bad. But I wanted to utilize more of the CPU than it has been in a long while. So what I mean by this is that I wanted to get at least close to 50% instead of running it at 30%. And then you guys are going to tell me, oh, Jay, you're bottlenecking your CPU with your GPU. Actually, no. If I was bottlenecking my CPU, I would be close to 90%. Just to say, in my train of thought, if I go over 70% on a CPU, then it's time for me to get a new platform. If I'm hitting over 70% on that CPU, it's time for me to get a new platform. Okay, that's my fine line right there. Is 70% and down, I'm still good to go. But if I go over that 70%, then it's time for me to get a whole new CPU and platform. That means my GPU is really hammering my CPU, and it's not going to be beneficial for my gameplay if I go up that high. But at 50%, 90 watts, keeping the voltage down at, let's say, 1.1 volts during gameplay is not too bad. The maximum I seen it really hit the CPU at was 1.3 volts, which is still in acceptable limits. You know, it has not reached 1.4 through that whole time that I was running this game. And I know it's a short amount of time, but guys, the whole purpose of me doing this is because I made two small changes. One, I limited the PPT in Curve Optimizer. I put 88. Okay, so it looks like there's a variance between 2 to 3% when you put 88 in the PPT. So it brought it up to 90, almost 91. So there's 2 to 3% variance in the PPT. Not too bad. And the FMax, I turned it up to 200. I've had the FMax set on auto all this time to where it was only going to 4.650. Now I got it going to 4.850 megahertz or gigahertz. And with me having the system RAM set at 3400 megahertz CL16, I have absolutely no issues with this PC whatsoever. None. So when I play a game, I do content creator work or whatever, it's balanced. I balance my system. That's the whole purpose of building your own computer, is being able to balance the CPU with the GPU, with the motherboard, with the system RAM, with the VRAM on the GPU, the SSD, you know, and the amount of power that you're using. I'm only using 750 watts power supply, PSU, and I'm only hitting it at, right now, the way I have it set, I'm only hitting it at 480 watts, 490, somewhere in there. Just close to 500 watts being used for this PC, but at normal like this, I'm just a little bit over 323, 330 watts. Just at normal, even if I'm doing live streaming or whatever, content creator work, I'm only at 330 watts, I would say. But that's not bad neither. And yes, I know you guys didn't expect this kind of video today, but I'm making this kind of video today because I wanted to take you along with this new thought I had that might work a little bit better, you know, to make my CPU work a little bit more efficient. And as you guys can see, I got over 250 FPS on the First Descendant. Not saying all games are going to give you this, but I'm running DLSS Ultra on the game, and I was running frame gen. I know you guys are going to say, well, you know, frame gen ain't. Yeah. I know about the frame gen. Okay, it doesn't make a difference to me. It still looked good. I didn't have game stutter or artifacting, and I didn't have a bunch of blurs. You have to see it from my point of view, what I see on my screen, and it's at 1080p. And yes, I know the 4070, the RTX 4070 is designed for 4K. It's designed for 1440p. But guys, I like 1080p. That's just my bag. So I just wanted to show you what it does at 1080p. And it looks like getting over a couple hundred FPS is not bad for me. As my rule is, anything over 60 FPS is going to be great gameplay. Now, if you're so worried about your visualizations, then that's up to you. You worry about your visualizations, I worry about mine. If you want to run 1440p on your GPU, that's up to you. I want to run 1080p on mine. Because going through this game at 1080p is not bad. I mean, I wish everybody would stop trying to, you know, to try to, how can you say this? Put humility with people that are running 1080p. Just because you don't do it, just because you don't do it and you run 1440p or 4K, then that's your bag, not mine. I run 1080p. It looks great on my screens. I don't have a problem with it. Everything flows just great with mine. I don't know what it looks like on, well, I do know what it looks like on the videos, but, you know, with you guys running 1440p or 4K watching my videos, I don't know how it really looks as far as that. But I can tell you, and I love 1080p. I'm part of the 1080p crowd. And I've been running 1080p for like the longest time. So I do enjoy it. You know, this is my experience to you all, just to say. But I showed you what it does, doing this little improvements. Each time I'm going to find a little bit of an improvement to this AM4 motherboard and find little things to unlock and make it better and better and better each time. So I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if this is your first time here, subscribe, hit the like button, and also too hit the notification bell so you know when I post the next video. So until then, next time and the next video, you know it is, and we will see you on the next one.